door. And when that door opens, you see every room of every experience you have ever had. That is MALLWORLD. Was that spooky enough? Today we are going to be talking about MALLWORLD. Now, let me explain what MALLWORLD is and how I found out about it. For this, just for a little change of scenery, because I recorded a video before this, I'm not sure which one I'm going to upload first. I just want to, switch it up, not wear the hoodie, change the painting that's on here, I don't know. So, let me explain what MALLWORLD is. Now, all of this came originally from this TikTok creator, give full credits to them, as they were talking about their specific world. And then I saw like a bunch of other ones from my For You page as my TikTok algorithm was like, do more. So, anyway, let's get into it. So, as she describes in her videos, MALLWORLD is specifically a world that is shaped like a mall. Whoa. But it is essentially a world in your mind of a bunch of interconnected places. And it's like this actual, real, tangible, different dimension that we all go to when we go to sleep. And it essentially explains that every single dream you've had, where it's like a same reoccurring scenery, and it's weird because it doesn't seem like someplace you've been to, but you dream about it so often, that kind of thing, that's supposed to be MALLWORLD. And she even made like a whole map about it, and that was like the main thing that I saw that was like, whoa, what the hell is this? And I don't have the visuals in front of me while I do this because I'm kind of like freestyling. I'm not a big fan of writing scripts right now. But she had like a bathroom that was completely infinite, an airport, a theme park. Behind the theme park was an endless ocean. Gosh, what else do I remember? There was a hotel part of it. It was just like a bunch of like different places that were interconnected. She actually made like a lot of these videos explaining what MALLWORLD was, like how she got there, what she thinks it is, and I'm gonna have a bit of a summary here, but I'm not somebody that likes to play other people's clips, so if you want to actually watch those videos, you can go ahead and do that. Sorry, but I don't want to just steal content and go, oh, that's crazy, for like 30 minutes. I don't know how long this is going to be, but, respect, watch the actual content creator. And she actually says that MALLWORLD is not a good place to go, and you shouldn't be trying to go there. And the reason why is due to something called the GATE program. So we have to backtrack a little bit. Were you gifted growing up? Talented, maybe gifted and talented educational program, GATE? Did you have to go to a room, maybe with a couple other kids, randomly selected, and you had to listen to these beeping in your ears? Beep, 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 and, raise your hand when you heard it, and you think it's just a hearing test. And then you wonder, I didn't feel very smart. Nothing happened after that. Why were they pulling me away? What was that? That's the basis of the GATE program. Now, I'll say this myself. I was a GT kid, so a GATE kid. Mine called a GT just because it was gifted and talented, not gifted and talented educational program. So, people are like, oh, well, this test was meant to be to hear if you can tell different frequencies and like different spiritual things. And they talked about this card game that I honestly only remember because of Beyond Two Souls, where they check to see if you have any psychic abilities. And I remember the hearing test one, but not the card one. A lot of people that are talking about the card one is like 80s, 90s, and I just wasn't born then, so maybe it was that. But it was essentially the theory that this wasn't a gifted and talented program, it was a clairvoyance test. And I will be going into my personal experience with all of this at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. But that's essentially what it was. And people are saying that this hearing test was actually the gateway tapes, which is another thing that I have to explain. Now, the gateway tapes are something from, now I don't exactly remember his first name, I just know that his last name is Monroe, and it's the Monroe Institute. That it is these binaural beats, which is like different frequencies going in through your ear, as well as this guided meditation, and there is an entire, like, so many tapes. And it's specifically meant to be able to let you astral project and go into different dimensions. So essentially what you would have to do is listen to these, follow the meditation every single day, do the whole course until you become an astral projection god. There's even been really old CIA documents talking about them actually trying to use it. And people see this as like, oh my god, that means it's totally real, which maybe, but these are also the people that tried to turn a cat into a spy and spent thousands, if not millions of dollars on implementing this cat with spy technology, and then it died getting hit by a car the second it got released. So I'm not too sure about the viability of that theory, but I respect it because the government is weird. I mean, you heard that from me first, but the government's weird. But that's like the basis knowledge. So MALLWORLD is supposed to be like this area. So now that you have all that context, let's go back to MALLWORLD. So the specific reason why she says that MALLWORLD is not a fun place to be is because if you are trying to astral project and try to use these tapes, or you try to go anywhere beyond, then suddenly, rather than being able to leave, you're stuck in this never-ending loop of different rooms in different areas, basically. Kind of like the back rooms. It's very, very close to the back rooms. Something interesting that happened is after she posted all of these, suddenly everybody in the comments was saying, oh my god, me too. I remember this exactly. I remember the infinite bathrooms. I remember talking to dream people in there and them getting really mad at me saying that it's a dream. Like all of these like interesting experiences that I cannot identify as true or like verify. I'm talking really fast, so I'm like skipping over words, sorry. But it's basically like just a bunch of people saying, oh my god, girl, me too. And then there's other people that are in this community that actually believe that the MALLWORLD girl is actually, whether she believes it or not, is actually a puppet of the bad people that are in control, whoever you think that group is. Because some people think it's the government, some people think that it's some whatever group that they hate, that they just think, yeah, that's running them all. I think, other than the government, I don't know about all that. Other than the government, I don't know about all that. Get any deeper? Oh. And they believed that her actually showing the map was the worst thing to do ever because she's actually trying to make people dream about it. So you'll actually experience it and go there, and people are like, oh my god, I want to go there, when you're not supposed to. So people think that she's, whether it's malicious or not, actually tricking people into going into mental prison, basically. So that is like all the context of what MALLWORLD is, what people think about it, the gateway tapes and gifted program and how people think that's connected, and how like doing these tapes and growing up and possibly being clairvoyant, how that was the reason why they go to MALLWORLD, like all of that. So we've got that. Now let's go into my personal experience with it. Now, as I stated earlier, yes, I was in the Gifted and Talented program. I remember the hearing test. I don't remember the cards. But Gifted and Talented, it wasn't, I don't know how to describe it. It was, whenever I was in elementary school, it was just straight up like going into another classroom, like if I was in 3rd grade, I would just go sit with the 5th graders, that kind of thing. Or I think it might have been 1st or 2nd grade, I don't remember. My memories of my childhood are very hazy for different reasons. Those sirens are very, very loud. They're trying to silence me. But I remember getting the hearing test at the beginning, and I don't really remember testing for it. They just kind of put me in it. Like, granted, I was, exceeding expectations for my age, for intellect and scores, I guess. But that was like it. I don't remember any other tests other than that. And the hearing test, I mean, it might have just been a hearing test. I don't know. And then I don't remember. It was either 4th grade or 6th grade. It was one of those that it changed. So it wasn't just going to a different classroom anymore. It was a specific, like, random room that it was a couple desks, and we would have a meeting like every week, but it just boggles my mind that I don't remember all that much. It's kind of weird, but like I said, there's unrelated reasons, so it doesn't surprise me. But like now that I'm actually trying to like recollect everything, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, I don't remember much of any of the tests other than the fact that it was never on paper. It was always like IQ kind of tests. There was one that it was like turn these toothpicks into something 3D, or like it was like make this. It was always with toothpicks. It was like turn this into something else with just changing 2 toothpicks, like that kind of thing. Or like I remember these building blocks for something, but that's it. It's very hazy about that section. And I have had, I wouldn't say weird dreams, but there have been moments in my life where I've tried to lucid dream. I've had like really vivid dreams. Like my most vivid dreams, I'm always switching between different areas. Like there was one that I recently had where I was at my boyfriend's place, and whenever I opened the door from his bedroom, trying to go into the living room, it was like a store. And there have been times where I've had dreams where I was in my bedroom or like my childhood bedroom or somewhere. Then I open the door and it goes immediately to school. I think that's really just our brains trying to skip through the stuff that doesn't really matter, because your brain's really just trying to like fill in the lines. Like I see dreams like forming in our brains the same way that like the original like 2021 AI was for generative stuff. That it's just like a bunch of globs and then our brain is like, huh. So, but yeah, I have had weird dreams like that. I was practicing doing lucid dreams for a while and then I stopped because I don't remember. I just didn't feel like it anymore. I got busy with life. But I will admit, I have tried the gateway tapes in the past. Do I think they worked? I mean, maybe. Again, my memory is so hazy because it was like when I've listened to them off and on because I think that it's very interesting. And I'm honestly probably going to be doing a video where I do listen to all of them and practice. So subscribe for that, because that's actually something that I want to try out and want to do because I find it very interesting. And I just love talking about weird stuff in general. So like this kind of thing where it's not like super, super like crazy right-wing conspiracies. If it's not that, I like talking about it. For like the weird conspiracy stuff. Like let's talk about the NASA alien like mirrored spaceship live stream thing that happened. I don't want to think about lizard people. But I would describe my experience in the past with the gateway tapes that I think there definitely were times that I might have, if astral projection is like an actual thing. I'm not a skeptic, but I'm also somebody that's like, I'm not the person to answer that. Like, I'm not the person spiritually to have all the answers. I acknowledge that, and I don't want to be the person with the answers. I just want to experience, and I want to be able to be grateful for what I have and what I experience. So essentially, what would happen is I would have very vivid dreams, and it would be like me floating to the ceiling, and then me like flying throughout my house. But the reason why I'm not too sure if it's like actually astral projection, or if it's like just a really vivid lucid dream, is because I would see things. Like, I would see like different versions of my family members, or I would see like different, like it would, like things would just look off. Things would look wrong. And the one that I remember specifically was actually in this room, like, I think like 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah. Was it? Oh, it actually might not have been in this room. I think I might have actually been in a different room. But I was in this house. And I had the dream, astral project, whatever it was, that like I flew out of my body, and then I like was like gliding through the doors and all of that. And then I see like these weird demons in the living room. And then I'm like, well, fuck that. And I open a window and I get the fuck out. And then I just flew around, just in the dark, just flying. And I could feel like the light feeling in my stomach. And I liked it. Like during that time, whether it was a lucid dream, astral projection, anytime I had those kinds of dreams, the first thing I would do is run away from everything and go fly. And just, that was it. There were even times where it felt like I was dreaming for hours. And I mean hours. Just flying. Like, just going to some random places in the woods. Or just, like, parks or something. And just flying around the trees. Chilling. I don't get those dreams as often. But it's also because I'm not, like, actively trying to. You can do with that information what you will. But that is just, like, my personal experience, and like I said, I'm probably gonna be at least listening to like some of the tapes, because it's also like super hard and weird to find the tapes pirated. Like, they were on YouTube for a while. Like, there's always like every couple months someone that uploads the entire thing of the Gateway tapes, and then there's like a week and then they're completely gone, completely wiped out. And there's like the archive library, like the online archive, that they had them for a while and then they got removed. I'm pretty sure I saw them on Spotify at some point and then they got removed. And it's also super hard to find like the full like tape set. It's just extremely difficult to procure now. And that's so weird for something that's so old. So I think that's weird, and it's something food for thought. But this is just like my experience. This is a very shallow dive into MALLWORLD. Again, here is the creator if you want to actually check her stuff out, but you know, viewer discretion is advised. If you show up at MALLWORLD, it's not my responsibility. It's not my fault. I'm sorry if you do. I'm not trying to harm anybody. I'm trying to share my experience and my weird belief system, I guess. Yeah, I just wanted to check in with you guys and talk about those weird experiences, because that was a weird 10 p.m. rabbit hole on TikTok to go through. But I just, I wanted to talk about it. Comment down below whatever you think about it. If you liked this video, you can hit that like button, because that gives me that sweet, sweet dopamine to keep making even more of these videos. And like I said earlier, you can subscribe to see even more of them. If you want to support me, you can go check me out on Ko-Fi, because maybe then I'll actually buy the Gateway tapes instead of trying to find some other way to pirate them. And you can also check out the goal, because this desk is a mess. And so I have a $20 goal on my Ko-Fi to have a desk cleaning video with maybe ASMR if you guys want it. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you at the gateway. Bye bye! Whoop, whoop. I made the same joke last time. I'm sorry, that was a bad outro.